Come to the stage right now. Put your hands together for Kevin.
Welcome to the Unfunny Kevin Show. I am your host, Kevin Melody. It's Monday, September 9th, and I hope you're having a beautiful post-weekend commute or whatever you're doing. I hope it's great. Football Sunday. Did you get your football in the last 2 days? They did Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and then there's football tonight, Monday Night Football, which I have PTSD from. We call it my 9/11 in this household because my New York Jets, fucking Jets, the cocksucking Jets, had Aaron Rodgers last year for 4 plays before we lost him, and it was 9/11, and he ran out on the field. It was Monday Night Football. I'm so terrified. He ran out on the field with an American flag, and then he tore his ACL. So it's being a Jets fan. It really builds character. It does. It just does, and it makes you that much more. Jets fans are loyal. We make good partners. We make amazing friends. We won't give up. We just don't give up. We're unfucking believable. But this is our year. I hope everyone's surviving this heat wave. Jesus Christ. I don't know about the listeners are nice and diverse, and I have you guys all over the place, so it's hard for me to wrap my head around what you might be going through, because what we're doing in LA is just insane. I mean, it's so fucking hot the last 4 or 5 days, and luckily we're coming out of it, but I'm recording this Sunday, and we just wrapped. I live in Long Beach. It was 103, and I live, I think, 4 miles from the ocean. This shit's insane, bro. It was so hot. Even with AC, it was fucking hot. The heat wave is just ridiculous. I remember I grew up in Woodland Hills and went to school in West Hills, and remember when I played football in high school, I had to wear full pads, and it was 115, and they'd put a fucking thermometer out in the field. I've talked about this before. It's insane. It's so fucking hot, and I'm just a bitch now, dude. I can't, I love desert whites. I've talked about desert whites before that just love desert. They love the desert, and they enjoy just off-roading and, whatever, being under the sun. It's so weird. It's just weird. I don't like it. I went to the pool. I like those whites. I like pool whites. I went to my yacht club and just swam. I couldn't take it. It was so hot, man. It was unfucking believable. But it's supposed to cool down. I went to, it's funny, I have air conditioning. I have pretty new, a brand new, I'd say 5 years old AC unit in the house. HVAC system. And the vents, it's weird. I have vents in all the main rooms in the living room, but my living room has really big windows. Tons of natural light, which is great. But it cooks like a fucking oven, man. It cooks like an oven. I put up towels and blankets, and I looked like a fucking maniac this weekend just to block out the sun. And then what's crazy is it baked me, so I had to go to Lowe's. Oh my God. Have you been to Lowe's? It's a special type of hell. In particular, when it's hot as fuck, and all you need is a fan, or I was thinking about getting a swamp cooler or something. It just throw ice in it and it just circulates cold air. But they had none. And what was even weirder was okay, I walked in, I got out of my car. It was hot as fuck. This was Saturday. It's maybe 101 out. And I see this guy when I get out of the car. He's maybe 5'4", Hispanic gentleman, balding, but he had like a trucker hat on. It said "World's Best Grandpa," and he had jean shorts. Respect. You have to respect him right off the bat. If you're wearing jean shorts, automatically you're in a different level. And he had like the hip clip. You know what I'm talking about? The little phone, the iPhone hip clip. So he had his phone on his hip. He fucking meant business. But he also had a beer belly hanging over the belt, button up short sleeve, like shirt, unbuttoned. I'm not talking a couple at the top. I'm talking he was naked. He had his shirt wide open. Didn't give a flying fuck. Short sleeve shirt, not a single button. Gut hanging out, tits hanging out, hip clip phone, jean shorts, shoes, like worker boots, world's best grandpa on his head. This man, ladies and gentlemen, was my hero. I wasn't sure. He just didn't get, he was like, yeah, it's hot. Fuck it. Like, he just walked into Lowe's like that. Like, I watched him. I was like, there goes my hero as he walked by. Watch him as he goes. Shout out Foo Fighters. R.I.P. Kurt Cobain. And I think that other, they lost someone. The drummer, their drummer died. I don't know. Anyway, it was fucking insane. So I went into Lowe's and I have this theory. I've never talked about it on the show, I don't think, but I have this theory that department stores, Lowe's and Home Depots, Walmarts, and drive-thrus have one fucking thing in common. Whoever needs to talk to customers, like, you know, at a drive-thru, there's a guy who cooks and there's a guy who talks. They round everybody up and they go, who is bad at talking? Raise your hand. Billy, you're bad at talking, right? Well, I don't know. Don't understand a fucking word he's saying. Billy, you're on the mic. That's how they do it. Because when I went to this fucking Lowe's, I walked in and there was a gentleman who was north of 500 pounds. I know I exaggerated. It's a comedy show. I'm not kidding. North of 500. And he had a, like his weird Lowe's vest. And he had his gut hanging out. He was kind of like the other guy. His gut hanging out. Everyone's got their guts hanging out. And he was on his phone, like a tablet. And he had a wonky eye. Now I know what you're saying. I'm not allowed to make fun of these folks, but he wasn't, it wasn't a disability or anything. He just had a weird, his eye, it was like when, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen 1,000-Pound Sisters, but it's like, you know, when they're so big, I don't know, like he's so big, his eye went wonky. I don't know, but he had a wonky eye. One eye was staring at the bridge of his nose and the other was looking right down at his like phone. And I walked in and he's like, I said, what? He's like, I need a fan. That was I didn't even bother to decipher it. I think he was trying to say welcome to Lowe's. He's like, I was like, I need a fan. My house is hot. I need to circulate air because my fucking living room's baked. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, welcome to Lowe's. Welcome to Lowe's. Oh, what you say? I said, I need a fan. Oh, fan. Yeah, aisle 4. I was like, holy shit, aisle 4. They came right out of him. He's like, aisle 4. I was like, aisle 4. Okay. So I go over there. It's literally toilets. It's just lids, toilet pumps, accessories. So I run back to find him. He's like, hey, I got you. Find your fan. It's like, I find my fan. You sent me to aisle 4. He goes, yeah, aisle 4. And then some guy walks over and he's like, sir, it's not aisle 4. It's aisle 24. Hank has a bit of a speech thing. Okay. You have to be very, very sensitive and you have to be moving a little slower with Hank. I was like, first of all, mister, there's 900 other things Hank can do. I don't like that you're limiting. Well, who's limiting Hank? If it's just a speech thing, can't he go scan things? Can't he ring people up? Can't he move boxes? What the fuck? Why is Hank greeting? And also, Hank has bad info. Motherfucker sent me to aisle 4 with pumps and all these weird things when I needed a fucking fan. It's hot too, by the way. So I'm gonna be snippy with Hank and you and anyone else, regardless of your speech issues. And Hank's giggling at this point. And he's like, sir, it's aisle 24. So I go all the fucking way to aisle 24. It's industrial fans. Fans, like if you're fucking cooking meth in your garage and you don't want dust settling. It's like fans you can't put indoors. I find some kid, fucking face tats, white kid, tatted to the fucking gills. White kid with weird fucking which I hate that type of person. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. If you're a lanky white kid and you just have tattoos from your fucking arms to your up your neck and on your fucking grill, you look like a fucking kind of like a discount Little Peep. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've never seen Little Peep, look him up. Little Peep was very talented. That's a good white. But those whites that they just have like a pair of scissors on their forehead. You know, are you a barber? Nah, I work at Home Depot, dog. Okay, well. It's just fucking insane. I hate that shit. I fucking hate it. So this, tatted white kid's like, yeah, man, sorry, like, there's only outdoor fans. I was like, bro, it's 103. Where's the motherfucking? I was like, I was gonna chop him up, put him in aisle 4 with the lids. It's like, where's the fucking fans? Give him to me. And so then he's like, oh, indoor, I got you, bro. They're at the front. Of course, they were to the right of fucking Hank. So I go down there. Oh, how you doing? You find your fan? It's like, yeah, I found my fan. Hopefully your tongue grows back or whatever. Enjoy playing solitaire. And I grab my fucking fan, check out, get home. Fan makes no impact. Little to no impact. So I go through all this horse shit. Completely useless. Completely useless. It was absolutely insane. Whew. So we're coming out of the heat wave. That's great. Finally. And I got a fan, which I'm going to have to return tomorrow. I'll have to fucking make time for that, And then in other fun news for you guys, it sounds like, when is this happening? It looks like Kamala and Trump, Pappy and Mama, are going to go to war with one another. They're preparing for their first debate of 2024. And I think, I'm looking it up so I can help you out with this. I think it's, 9 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, September 10th. Ooh, great. So tonight you got Monday Night Football, right? And then tomorrow you have the real game. Trump and Kamala Harris. America is saved, ladies and gentlemen, with entertainment. The number one export that we have. Dare I say the only thing we can export besides war and weapons is our entertaining circus of a country. So Tuesday night, Trump will go toe-to-toe with cackling Kamala, Comrade Kamala, and she will probably do well. I mean, so far, I've seen her. I didn't even know. I'd had no clue what she sounds like. I'm not even lying. Even when they called her, she was laughing all the time. I don't remember. Like, I've only recently started to hear her all of the time, and she does laugh. But I think she'll be fine. She'll laugh her way through it. She's like, he's weird, isn't he weird? And she'll just put on whatever hat she needs, while he mumbles and mutters angrily about, the trans kid. He said he was talking about trans kids again the other day. This is I don't understand. I don't understand. We had a mass shooting last week, Colt Gray or whatever, And then he got out and he was like, your kid comes home and he's lost he's not a boy anymore or something. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Also, casually breezing over the mass shoot. No, okay, we can't call it a mass shooting because it's 4 people. Because Colt Gray, this fucking, speaking of trans, have you seen this kid? This fucking, and then of course it's like, oh, well, he was bullied. The FBI went to their home a year prior. And can we talk about that? Jesus Christ, can we get rid of the FBI? The FBI let that one kid, Matthew Crooks, get on a roof. Or they paid him to do it or whatever. They paid him visits. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there at the FBI. They somehow know everything with all tips, and they knew well in advance. And then things still happen. I don't understand. What the fuck is going on, dude? I didn't even have it in my notes to talk about Colt Gray, who, by the way, said there was some interview where they said kids were calling him gay or something like that. And it's just like, bro, what the fuck is going on? This is so crazy. So so kids were calling him gay, so he took his AR-15 down to the school. That doesn't even make, bro. I remember, I don't know. There's something in this is bigger. I know it's guns. I know it, but it's gotta be bigger than guns. There's something else going on because we have people fucking losing their shit. I'm always gonna die on my sword that it's some way or another connected to the Twitch and the TikTok and the fucking Discord and the fucking live streaming and the 24/7 and the fucking thinking you're a hero for 4 seconds online and kids going to school saying, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? Marilyn, you want to be a professor? I want to be viral. Okay. Timmy, you want to be an officer of the law? ACAB. I want to stream. You fucking lame bitch. Okay. Jonathan, what do you want to be? Kai Cenat. We're fucked. Yeah, the guns are a problem, but at this point, are they the biggest? I don't know. It's a serious question. The country's waiting for Tuesday to roll around so that Trump can get up there and go, I just have a simple question. What is a woman? How many genders are there? I saw Vivek Ramaswamy was on Tucker Carlson's panel or something like that. There's a hilarious clip. I'll look for it. I don't know. I'll post it or something. And he said something to the effect of, Tucker Carlson's like, Vivek, do you mind sharing what you just said? It was profound. Do you mind sharing it? And Vivek's like, I just want to say that there's certain truths. 1, God is real. 2, there are 2 genders. 3, you cannot argue with the fact that biology is biology. I'm like, why are these people? Why are these people rising to the top? Why are they so popular for saying such average things? We have to look at ourselves at the end of the day. Anyway, Trump and Kamala debate Tuesday. I'm sure he's going to say something insane. If he comes out and he goes, Comrade Kamala and Tampon Tim, if he says something like that, it'll be worth a watch. It'll be worth a watch. And by the way, I love how they're having a debate like, you know, the radical right and the radical left and the moderates, which I don't even know who those people are anymore, are on the fence. And this is going to fix it. This is going to fix it. This is insane. It's like, what is this exercise for? It's nuts. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come right back to it. We got more for you. folks, the country's in need of healing. Okay. And there's only so many ways you can heal. Some would say you have to vote for Kamala and Tim Walz, and that'll fix everything. You know, we're going to ban the gun. We're going to ban them. We're going to send weapons to Israel. And then the other hand is like, the only way you can heal is if you get Trumpito and weird Vance into the White House. And some people think that's going to solve your stress and all of your problems, and they're going to cut the rates, and you're going to finally buy a house. But I say nay. In the face of chaos and danger and Trump and Harris, there's you and your Oklahoma smokes, folks. Listen, the only way to unwind and sift through all the data and do your own research is to take a smoke break with Oklahoma Smokes. See, these are 100% California-grown CBD with over 40,000 plus satisfied customers, a 42-day money-back guarantee, and within 3 days, you're likely to get a smoke at your door. That's right. Shipped and out on its way. Now, you've never had them. Why would you pay full price? You're a listener of this show, and you want to support me. So you're going to use the code UnfunnyKevin, UNFUNNYKEVIN, for 15%, 15%, off your first order of Oklahoma Smokes. Go to itsoklahomas.com or use the link in my bio. And for the love of God, use the code. I don't want DMs and emails about what's the code. It's in the bio. Hey, dog, can you hook it up? No, I can't. I can't. Use the code. Hook me up, fucko. Thank you. It's a heat wave. You've been stuck inside. I don't know what's going on in your country because we have people that listen to other countries. But anyway, if you're in the U.S., this applies to you. What are you doing? It's hot. The AC's completely fucked. You went to Lowe's and you saw a guy named Hank who mumbled and muttered, and one eye looked at you and the other looked down. You need a light phone. At this point, there's no argument. You need a light phone. So how do you get it? Well, look, there's a link in my bio. It goes right to lightphone.com shop. It allows you to buy wonderful things. The Light Phone 2, which is, literally like there's no color. It's beautiful, distraction-free display. It has the essentials. Or you pre-order the Light Phone 3 and you go ahead and get it the sooner you pre-order, the sooner you get the phone. So you go, Kevin, I pre-ordered it. When do I get it? I don't know. You need to pre-order now, though, because the later you fucking wait, the later your phone will arrive. That's just how it works. And let me tell you, Light Phone 3 is no joke. It's got a beautiful screen. It's got all the essential tools you need. It's going to have a camera, which everyone wants, right? You can enjoy yourself free of the Facebook fights with your Aunt Mabel, free of the TikTok dances that are putting you in a trance, free of the, the Twitter, the X, where people are calling you racial slurs and you're getting updates about Colt Gray, the shooter that you otherwise couldn't for some reason get from news. Go to the link in my bio and purchase something to directly support the Unfunny Kevin Show. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right, we're back. So, I have 2 fun stories for you, and then I'm going to let you go and enjoy the rest of your week and your debates and all the things you're doing. So I got the Long Beach Press Telegram in front of me, and we're going to cover some fun stories for you here. One of which I thought was hilarious. So there's this writer, this is in the opinion of the Long Beach Press Telegram, which I get every Sunday, and they wrote this article. It's Rafael Perez. It's called Voter ID Laws Aren't a Big Deal, Actually, which is funny. Okay, so I'm going to read it, and then we'll digest it together, but here it goes. So it starts out, voter ID laws are not unjust, and they also do not prevent fraud, Both of these things are true, and it's an example of an entirely pointless, nonsensical debate that we shouldn't be wasting our energy on. California state and local politicians have not yet received the memo. However, seeing as the state Senate passed Senate Bill 1174 in direct opposition of Huntington Beach approving voter ID requirements, legislators who oppose ID requirements will claim such laws are unjust because they disproportionately affect low-income and minority voters and reduce the turnout. Some research suggests voter ID laws modestly reduce turnout among minorities and particularly black voters. A lot of other research suggests that it doesn't affect turnout at all. Even if we assume that it does marginally reduce turnout among minorities, a policy having a disparate impact on a particular group does not necessarily make it unjust. Getting an ID is one of the most basic things you can do as an adult. You need an ID for everything, from driving to buying alcohol, opening a bank account, applying for food stamps and welfare that these people say they're on, and much more. In the minds of progressives, when was the bar set so low for minorities that we think it'd be an excessive burden for them to get an ID? The population, a certain portion of the adult population will fail to have a non-expired ID. In that case, they won't drive, buy alcohol, or vote. They cost $30 in California. If you don't have $30 for an ID, then getting out to vote is the least of your concerns. Progressives like to include things like cost of transportation as part of the burden that one needs to meet to require an ID. Do we think that a couple of dollars in bus fare is stopping brown and black people from getting to the DMV? Maybe it's the 14 jobs they have to make ends meet. It's about the most condescending, insulting thing to hear that minorities can't get IDs for whatever reason, or that it's too much to expect of them. Irrespective of whether we should implement ID requirements, the bare minimum you could expect from a voting age citizen is for them to have an ID, if not a driver's license, particularly when we expect them to make decisions about what our future is going to look like. On the other hand, it's plainly clear that voter ID laws also have done nothing to stop fraud. One of the reasons this is the case is the voter impersonation is just about the worst, least efficient way to impact an election. Even mail-in voting fraud, which is more inviting for would-be fraudsters and not the target of most ID laws, is exceedingly rare. With just a bit of research, people like Greg Abbott and Trump, who claim voter fraud is rampant, would have immediate access to all of the information I provided. They're either woefully misinformed or just lying about how common it is. Some Democrats will claim Republicans push for ID requirements because they wish to suppress black and Hispanic voters. People who don't have IDs have no desire to vote anyway. If they did and it required an ID, they could very easily make their way to the DMV and buy one. That's why the evidence suggests that voter ID laws have no appreciable impact on turnout. Social issues often involve many complexities, but not this time. It's actually really simple. If you're willing to go through life without an up-to-date ID, then you're also willing to go without many of the other goods and services that require it. When you don't have a bank account and you don't drive, what would you care about a bill that you've never heard of gets passed? According to some estimates, roughly 80% of the public supports voter ID laws. If they want it, let them have it, but it makes no difference at all. Not even to the public's perception of the legitimacy of elections, contrary to what people claim. See, here's the thing. This is what I find fucking hilarious about this. So when I was in high school, there was a kid. His name was Demon. And he was part of this gang. He was part of this like fucking Valley gang. And it's called BVN, Barrio Van Nuys. And Demon's dead. He's been dead since we were in high school. But I remember not only did Demon he was here as an immigrant. His parents had brought him over. Not only did Demon have a voter ID or a traditional ID, Demons sold fake IDs. I remember it's like, hey, fool, you want an ID? We're like, yeah, we had this whole racket where we'd get like Florida IDs, and then other friends of mine who were legitimate immigrants. Everyone had a fucking ID. Every black dude that I knew, that I know, that I've ever known has an ID. So like this whole premise of like people don't have IDs is insane. Also the fact that, oh, it's costly. If you're low income or you can't afford it, they give it to you. It's true. My father, who's been homeless and had to get IDs constantly, because as a drunk, your life is resetting every 3 or 4 months when you go off the wagon and you lose your wallet. I mean, the guy's had so many. He's had unlimited IDs. It's like never ending. They keep showing up. You know what I'm saying? So this whole thing about that is nuts. And then the other side is the fact that that's, backed by fucking data, that even by requiring one, it wouldn't even necessarily mitigate anything that people are worried about. It's just crazy. Like, this is where we're at, where people are like, well, maybe there's dead voters. Well, okay, but the voting, the ID argument, like, I never understood, like, why do people just expect me? Who the fuck doesn't have an ID? Even people I know that were illegal had their ID, and on top of that, they were selling fake ID. Like, there's a way to get a fucking ID, man. Like, it's not, this is nuts. Like, but we're at a point in our country where we're arguing about IDs and fucking, two genders and all this dumb people. It's like, bro, there's bigger, badder things out there that we need to fucking kind of knock out first, Anyway, also a headline in the paper, which this is a fun one. We'll bring it out, wrap up the show in a good way. Red Lobster is to exit bankruptcy after judge approves the chain's sale. Here we go. After months of dozens of restaurant closings and headlines about endless shrimp. What a fat fucking country. I forgot about this. I'm going to get my endless shrimp. I got a good story about Red Lobster too. But after months of dozens of restaurant closings and headlines about endless shrimp woes, Red Lobster, endless shrimp woes. What a sentence. This is a sentence that can only happen here. This sentence could not be written in any other country. None. Not a single one. After months of dozens of restaurant closings and headlines about endless shrimp woes, Red Lobster says it will exit from Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. A U.S. bankruptcy judge on Thursday approved the casual seafood chain's reorganization plan, which includes a lender group led by asset manager Fortress acquiring the business. The approval arrives under just 4 months after Red Lobster filed for bankruptcy protection as it pursued a sale, following years of mounting losses and dwindling customers while it struggled to keep up with its competitors. This chain, which lost $76 million in 2023, I mean, you got to hang it up, man. You like the shrimp there? I remember I went there a couple times as a kid, and one of my uncles loved it. It's just like, we're going to Red Lobster. He liked Hometown Buffet, which was nuts. I mean, criminal food. And Red Lobster. Red Lobster was better, but I remember, go there and he'd be like, get the cheddar biscuits. We'd have cheddar biscuits. We're getting endless shrimp, coconut shrimp, endless shrimp. And I'd see the lobsters in the tank. All the lobsters looked like they smoked cigarettes. Like the tank was green and they looked kind of like tormented and tired. Like all of them looked tired, like they were heaving. Like you couldn't hear them. They can't talk, but you can kind of, like when you make eye contact with those Red Lobster tank lobsters, you can, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You can hear them wheeze. It's so fucked. Like, that whole experience. It's kind of terrifying. Although they gave me things to color on. That I liked. It was fun. That part was fun. As a matter of fact, bring them. I want them back. We need them. Here's the things that are going to save this country. Okay. 1, Tampon Tim and Trump fighting, I'd say you do a card. This is what you do. You do a card. You do a Trump-Kamala fight, Vance-Tim Walz, and you slate it alongside the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson thing. That'll save this country. And then you bring back, it's sponsored by Red Lobster, but it's sponsored by Red Lobster, and you give the country Red Lobster back. That'll start more than rates. It'll heal the Hanks, the sick Hanks of our country. Yeah. Well, I was hoping this ends on that seems like a positive note. Hopefully I had you giggling through most of this, but yeah, so that's it for me. I will be back next Monday, of course. I hope that you guys have a great week. Do me a favor, if you listen to the show every week, support me, not just with the sponsors, but give me a 5-star review in the Spotify store or Spotify or whatever, in the Apple Podcast store, and write a comment. You can write literally anything. I don't care. The comments go a really fucking long way, apparently, with sponsors and stuff, so they want to see that. So write something in there if you haven't already. Thank you, guys. Thanks for listening. All the new listeners, I appreciate you too. I see those views, those listens. So thank you very much. Email the show, theunfunnykevin@gmail.com. Click the social media, all links in the bio, unfunnykev on Instagram. And send us a text message. There's something in there. You can send me a text message, and I'll put a voicemail thing together soon. You can leave me weird voicemails and tell me stories, and I'll unpack it on the show. All right, have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.
I ain't getting out of bed today. 9 to 5 to survive, there's gotta be a better way than waking up early to punching the clock. How I look a grown man with my lunch in a box. But my kids need socks and shoes. I'm walking through the office, who you talking to? Don't you know on the streets I would've never mind. The past is the past, I gotta leave it behind. But man, back on the block, I was a bona fide hustler. Spot popping off until the police rushed us, handcuffed us. I thought I was gone, could've cried thinking I'd miss my son being born. But I was blessed, beat the case, now I'm trying to reform. But these white folks make it so hard to move on. You gotta jump through hoops, anger management coops. But the fact I'm still standing here today is proof that yesterday I felt the most hated. I thought I couldn't take it, they said I couldn't make it. Feeling brand new, I got nothing to lose, I'm about to make moves. Yesterday I felt the most hated, I thought I couldn't take it, I fought until I made it. Feeling brand new, I got nothing to lose, get out my way, move on to the next. It was all about sex when I first met my little baby girl Annette. She was standing at the bus stop, sucking on a lollipop, eyes collard green, lean thicker than a pork chop. Stop, 'cause I don't need